apart from using regular tables in Excel, you can also use pivot tables. Pivot tables offer many benefits compared to normal tables because they are more dynamic, easy to create, and also offer easier customization. To create a pivot table, you just have to select a range of cells or a regular table, then go to Insert Pivot Table and choose the fields you want to add to your table. So you can start from a regular table and then choose the fields you want to add to your pivot table. Afterwards, you have to drag and drop the selected fields into one of the areas below. As you can see, you have 4 areas. The first area, Report Filter, allows you to add a filter to your report. You can also choose the columns which you want to add and the rows within column labels and row labels. And you can also select the values which correspond to the fields of your table. You can also customize the calculation type here. So in this case, it would calculate the sum of the sales amount. You can also choose to have count or average or maximum of a certain dimension. If I now go back to my sales order sheet in Excel and I want to create a pivot table based on the sales orders table within the sales order sheet, then I can select my sales order table. I just click on any cell within the table. I go to Insert Pivot Table. I select Pivot Table. As you can see, my table is already selected. I choose to create a pivot table which is placed on a new worksheet. I click OK. Now I choose the fields I want to add to my pivot table. Suppose I want to add order date, store, item, and sales amount. And I want to be able to filter on item. I want to have 2 columns, which is store A and store B. So I drag and drop store to the area column labels. And I want to have the total sales amount for each order date. So my row labels correspond to the dimension order date. And my values correspond to the sum of the sales amount. Suppose I want to change sum to a different setting, then I just click on the arrow sign next to my sum of values and I select value field settings, and here I can choose the calculation type, so I can choose from sum, count, average, maximum, minimum, and so on. In this case, I do not want to change the calculation type. However, I do want to change the number format, so I click on number format and go to currency, where I select 2 decimals, and I want to have euro in front of my number, so I select symbol EUR, and I press OK, OK, and my pivot table is complete. As you can see, I can filter on item here. I can select, for example, bed, which gives me the sales amount for the item category bed. I can also easily modify my pivot table. Suppose that I want to have the row label order tag instead of order date, then I just drag and drop order date back to the selection of fields. As you see, this is now removed, and I drag and drop order tag into the row labels area. Suppose I want to be able to filter on payment methods instead of item category, then I just drag and drop item back to the selection of fields, and I drag and drop payment method into the report filter area. Suppose I want both the sales amount and discounted sales amount, then I simply drag and drop discounted sales amount into the values area. And as you can see, I now have 2 columns for each store column. So my top columns are the store columns, and beneath that I have the sales amount and discounted sales amount column. You also notice that the values label is added to the column labels area. Suppose that I want to have my sum of sales amount and sum of discounted sales amount columns on top, and beneath that I want to have the subcategory store A or store B. Then I can simply drag and drop the values label on top of the store label, and as you see now, the sum of sales amount and discounted sales amount are added on top of these store column labels. Suppose that I want to group my orders or order tag row labels for each order date, then I can add the field order date on top of the field order tag within my row label area. And as you see now, I have the sum of sales amount and discounted sales amount for each order date and order tag. And I can now simply hide or show details for each order date by simply clicking on the icon next to the order date in case I do not want to see the order tags.